and it rolls out under the dresser. And we're like, what is it? Hello, Peepzillas. So, I know what you're thinking, this is being posted on April Fool's Day. And no, this is not an April Fool's Day prank. This is a real and honest to goodness story. And I had to jump on here real quick because I felt like this story was just too funny not to share with you guys, because this is how legit my phobia of bugs is. Like, I am such a scaredy cat, so yes, go me. It all starts in my home, and I'm lounging on like the recliner, and the way it is, the recliner faces into the bedroom, and you can see this dresser. This dresser right here is where it all happened. So you can see this dresser, and I'm in the living room, and like I said, and I could see these like two shadowy figures under the dresser, and I'm like, that looks a little weird, but you know, I'm watching TV, and it doesn't look like they're moving or anything. I'll investigate later. So later comes, and it's time for me to go to bed, and I'm like, oh yeah, the shadowy figures. Let me go investigate. So I take out my phone and I have a little flash on and I'm looking under and I'm like, okay, holy shit, what is that? Because these two shadowy figures are big as hell. They're like that big and they're black with like a green spot on the top of them. And I see these two blue glowing eyes looking out at me. So yeah, scary as hell, right? So I'm like, what is that? Okay, so my heart's beating fast, and I'm terrified. Now they haven't moved in like a few hours, so I can only assume that whatever it is dead at this point, but it looks legit like a bug, or either that, or there was like some sort of food under there, and it had just like molded over, and if I touch it and poke it with a stick, it's just gonna pus out with all this gross disgustedness. So at this point, it's late at night, I'm tired, I want to go to bed, but if you're anything like me and there's a bug in your room when you're trying to go to sleep, you're terrified because you don't know where it is or where it's gonna end up, and you don't want it to end up in your mouth while you're sleeping. So I'm like, oh great, so I kind of have to take care of this now. I mean, there was a time where there was like a really big, I think it was a praying mantis in my room, and I was terrified, and I put it under a lid container to take care of in the morning, because apparently at night things are like 1,000 times scarier. But anyways, so I send a message to someone. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, can you know, check it out for me in the morning? Because I'm too scared to do it right now. Like, quite frankly, I'm pretty sure it's dead. So I was scared, but I wasn't too scared. I didn't feel like my life was in immediate danger at that point. So I'm like, yeah, can you just like check this out in the morning? But pretty much I'm like, okay, it's late, I'm tired, I want to go to bed. So I'll figure this out in the morning. I'm not in immediate danger or anything like that. So I go and I curl up on the bed, on like the other side of the bed, as far away from the dresser as I can. I'm curled up in a ball, I got my blanket, I'm scared. It's like, bugs, please don't come for me in the middle of the night, please. And occasionally, like, I'll hear a sound coming from over here, and I'm like convinced it's the bugs, and they're coming out now that it's dark. You know, like kind of like cockroaches, like when you turn on the light, they scatter and go back into hiding. So I'm like, okay, they're thinking that the light's gone, they can stop playing dead now, because bugs do that. I had an ant do that to me once in the kitchen. He legit played dead until I poked him, and then he ran off. But I'm feeling like these bugs are thinking, okay, lights off, we can come play now and go hang out in your mouth and crawl up your bed. So yeah. So I call someone to come over and, you know, come protect me like I often do. Anyways, so he comes over, and he's got his little flashlight on too, and he doesn't know what it is. He's kind of freaked out, and so he puts on gloves, and he's like, I need a little stick because I'm gonna poke it. And quite frankly, I don't know if like all these bugs are gonna come pouring out when I poke it. I said, yeah, that's a good idea. So, you know, he gets it, he's poking it with his stick, and at this point, we're like, okay, we can't tell what it is underneath the dresser, so let's just bring it on out. So he's fully gloved, he's got his little stick pencil, and he kind of, you know, gingerly is moving this thing out under, and it rolls out under the dresser, and we're like, what is it? And you know, he's looking at it, and it kind of looks like a little bit of like a slug to me. And at this point, I feel like we're just both ready to nope on out of there. And like he even said, he's like, you know, if something comes out of this thing when I poke it, I'm just getting the hell out of there. You're on your own. I'm like, thanks for that. So we're looking at it, and then that's when we realize that they are fake bugs. So pretty much I was freaking out all night long for hours and hours over bugs that weren't even real. Because that's how real my phobia of bugs is. Like, I have these fake spiders that sometimes you see in videos, and I still get scared when I see them unexpectedly sitting there like, why is there like 1,000 million bugs right there? I'm like, oh, they're fake, okay. So obviously I'm relieved that these bugs are fake. And, you know, he was telling me like, yeah, those bugs are real. Like, that seriously would have been a lease breaker. Like, no, get out of there. Like, don't be in there with these bugs. And so I'm like, yeah, like, you know, this is great. They're fake. I still don't want to touch them though, because I'm still semi-convinced they're real, even though it says like made in China on them. So after that high comes down of like, okay, they're fake, I can breathe a sigh of relief now, I think to myself, how the hell did they get there then? Like, if they're fake, how did they still manage to make their way under the dresser? Like, I have no clue. That's a little scary. So the only thing I can think of is I work with children, and sometimes they, you know, hand me toys, and if I'm like out on the playground or something, I put it in my jacket and it accidentally comes home with me at the end of the day. And maybe it did, and I took it out of my jacket, put it on the dresser, and it went under the dresser. I really don't know. But I'm like, this is weird. Did somebody like break into my apartment just to put fake bugs under my dresser? What's going on? I think this is a case for unsolved mysteries. So anyways, after we discovered that they were fake, they somehow got placed on the hamster cage. And silly old me got scared by them again. Like, I was coming through, I'm like, oh, what is that on the hamster cage? And I'm like, oh, they're fake. So, darn you, China, you tricked me again. First you get me with those clothes that do not look how they are advertised on the internet. You know, like the websites are like, oh, this fancy lace dress will look like a pretty fancy lace dress, and then it ended up looking like a tablecloth. So first China gets me with those clothes that look nothing like advertised. Then they get me again with their fake bugs that look everything like they are advertised. So here they are in the flesh, though not real flesh, because we know that they're fake. The bugs that have caused me fear. Oops. The bugs that have caused me fear and heartache and sleepless nights. Like, seriously, I thought these were real. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that story. Sometimes it's nice just to sit down and tell a story and talk. So bye. Be sure to subscribe to my channel.